Your Honor, the defendant is now at the bar. Can I have counsel identify themselves for the record, please, starting with the Commonwealth?
Good afternoon. Lisa Beatty for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Beth McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Megan Monahan for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kevin Reddington on behalf of the defendant, who's before the court.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon. So it was put over today for sentencing. I can tell you what I've reviewed. I want to make sure that I have everything. The Commonwealth filed a sentencing memo with some supporting documents, including some impact statements from the family of Katie McLean. I then received the defendant's sentencing memo, which included some letters of support, as well as an evaluation from Dr. Zeisel, and an attachment, the attachment being the sentencing guidelines. I then received the report from probation, the pre-sentencing report, which was very detailed. And then finally this morning I received the defendant's supplement to the sentencing memorandum, which cited other Superior Court cases. Is that everything?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth move for sentencing at this time?
The Commonwealth moves for sentencing at this time.
Okay. And are you calling any members of the family to make impact statements?
So there are 3 members of the family who would like to read their victim impact statements.
Okay.
I will read, I'm sorry, there are 2 members who would like to read their impact statements, and I will read two.
All right.
Would you like to start with those?
I'd like to start. Why don't you read the first 2, and then the 2 family members who want to come up can take the witness stand, and they can give their impact statements.
Your Honor, the family had brought with them 2 sets of photographs that they wanted the court to be able to consider. If I could pass those to the clerk. All right, so first I will read Sophia's. And that is Exhibit 4. Dear Judge, every time I open my eyes, I am hit with the reality that my mother was taken from me. This fact crushes and plagues me on a daily basis. Thoughts of her flood my mind of how she lived her life. I think about how she'd joke about being Ariel from The Little Mermaid due to her red hair, blue eyes, laugh, amazing smile, Lily Pulitzer dresses, and life drama TV shows. Without fail, she would always complain about being cold no matter the weather. Now I dream of those days where she'd tell me to bring her a blanket. I dream about giving her a big hug that would last a lifetime. But instead of hugging her, I am hugging a tree that is in a cemetery, a tree that is not warm like my mom, but a hard, barky, cold tree. It's not the same. She will never be that tree. It will never be the same as hugging my mother. Even though I pretend that it is her, at the end of the day, it is still just a tree. I have lost time with my mother. My younger siblings have lost time with our mother. The world has lost time with my mother because of the actions he took that night. I am filled with regret from that night. I constantly think about what I could have done to change the outcome, or what I could have done or said that would have saved her. But I know that no matter what I did, I would not have been strong enough. She was not done living her life. She has been stolen from us by a monster that will never be as important as my mother. My mother was and is important. A part of me was forever lost when the monster stole my mother in the dark. This monster, who I don't consider a man or a person, but a failure and a waste of positive influence on the world, made the choice that night to hurt my mother, to rid the world of her, my support system. He will never understand what he took away from my family. He knew what he was doing when he ripped my mother's life away. He knew the consequences of his actions would result in her death. He put her in a cold, dark place. He took my mother from me, but I will use my mother as inspiration, as stepping stones for my future, and pass them on so that she can live forever in the words and stories I tell people. I will use my mother's wisdom and strength in my life so that she can live on. My younger siblings and I will continue our mother's legacy.
Thank you.
This is Sam Rocca's impact statement.
Is this is an exhibit as well?
This is Exhibit well 6, I believe. Your Honor, my name is Sam Rocca. Katie is my mother. I had just turned 13 when my mom was killed. I knew I was special to her because I was the only boy and her baby. I wasn't sure what happened to my mom when this happened. I just knew she was dead and missing. The past 5 years have been the worst, loneliest years of my life. I lost my mom, my caretaker, the person who I depended upon for everything. As I've grown older, I realize more and more what I'm missing and how much I missed. I was just a kid when Harry killed my mom. As an adult, I realized I didn't know much about who my mom was. I didn't get the chance to have adult conversations with her and ask her opinion on life and what I should do. I stopped getting the chance to be a kid when she died. It's hard to have a childhood when you can't sleep, you're crying all the time, and just everything feels like a lot, and you have no mom to tell you, don't worry, it will be okay. My world has felt out of control since my mom died. I am left with a feeling of insecurity. I don't feel safe. I feel like I now need to create my own stability to keep myself safe and rely only on myself. I witnessed my mom crying in her home every day. I felt like a guest and was bullied by Harry, a grown man, on a daily basis. I will never forget that. I couldn't protect my mom from Harry. I think about that every day. Harry picked on anyone smaller and weaker than him. Now that I've grown, I've also realized the true devastation of what happened and what he did to my mother and who Harry is. Justice was not done. The portrayal of my mother was false, inaccurate, and having to witness it was devastating. I'll never know who I truly could have been had I had a mother to raise me and to guide me. I'm graduating in 2 weeks. My mom fought so hard for me for school, and she would have been happier than anybody to see me graduate, but she's not here for it. It's hard to be happy when the most important person is missing. I do know I want Harry to have the maximum sentence allowed, and I hope he stays in jail the remainder of his life.
Thank you.
Mary Grace at this time, please.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. My name is Mary Grace Rocca. I am 21 years old, and Kathleen McLean is my mom. 5 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night, looked down the stairs, and saw Harry Tuerk. I instantly knew something bad had happened. We made eye contact, and since then, I've been filled with a whole new level of fear I didn't know was quite possible. This fear didn't leave me after that night. I've been living the last 5 years of my life in a dark place, struggling to trust anyone, and feeling completely isolated. Losing my mom deeply affected the way I grew up and shaped my understanding of who I am. Without her guidance, I felt lost, which led me to cope in very destructive ways. Only now I am beginning to deal with the fear and grief he inflicted. Knowing how much my mom loved me and how that was taken away from me has broken me, and I've needed to learn to put myself back together without the person who was there for me. This was an intentional act of violence towards my mom, and Harry knew he would be leaving 3 kids alone without a mom.
Thank you so much.
Beth Melvin.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Thank you.
Very sorry for your loss.
Thank you. My name is Beth Melanson, and Katie's my little sister. It'll be 5 years, May 15th, that my sister, Kathleen McLean, was brutally murdered in her home, a victim of domestic violence, just feet from her 3 sleeping children. Katie was killed just 4 days after Mother's Day in 2020, and here we are again, days after Mother's Day. As a healthcare professional, a critical care nurse with over 25 years experience, I honor people at life and in death, allowing my patients to live or die with dignity and respect while being honest, transparent, and truthful with their families. What I've been subjected to witness and listen to during this trial was far from the truth, lacking any respect for my sister, her 3 children, and allowed her to be re-victimized in death by Harry again. It has taken 5 years to this day to get to this, 5 years of daily grief, trauma, loss, and heartbreak of losing my best friend. 5 years of memories now without my sister and kids with no mother. 5 years ago, back in May of 2020, I got a call from the kids asking if I knew where Katie was. Then was informed Harry had been back from Florida. I knew if Harry was back, she was not missing, she was dead. The next day and a half, we waited. The police searched. The first night it poured rain. It was freezing cold out, and I was so worried that she was outside hurt somewhere. We had no idea where she was. Around 11 o'clock, May 16th, I got a call from the state police saying they had found her, and she was dead in a pond. It was the most gut-wrenching pain I have ever felt in my life. I was shaking with disbelief, trauma, and pain. It was a blur for the first few months. The events and the people I now needed to take care of didn't allow me to grieve myself. I had to tell my mother her baby was dead, that Harry had killed her. I had to sit and tell Sophia, Grace, and Sam that Mom was found, but she had died. And we didn't know at that time what had happened. I will never forget that moment. I barely felt like my heart was beating. I was crying all the time while trying to take care of my 3 children, now Katie's 3 motherless children, and my own mother in hospice. I had to plan where and how to bury Katie with the 13, 15, and 17-year-old children. I had to go see my sister's body before the kids. After an autopsy and 2 days in a dirty pond, my beautiful sister did not look beautiful. I had to clean dirty black pond mud from under her nails. I had to put lipstick and jewelry on her. I had to fix her hair. I put her in a bright Lily Pulitzer dress because that's who she was. She was bright and she was happy. I tried to make her look like Mom for the last time that the kids would see her. Katie was not a vindictive devil, as stated by Harry minutes after he killed her and dumped her body in a pond with rocks to ensure nobody would find her. Katie was a daughter, she was an auntie, a sister, a friend, she was a caregiver, she was vibrant and full of life. She always had a smile, she was calm, she had more patience than anyone I know. And most importantly, Katie was a mother to her 3 children, Sophie, Gracie, and Sam. Everything she did in her life centered around her 3 babies. All of her life work was dedicated to caring for people who needed to be healed or taken care of. She was kind, she was gentle, she studied occupational therapy, she drove cancer patients to treatments who didn't have family, she did toy drives at Christmas, she volunteered at food pantries. She worked for years as a preschool teacher and always called the school her happy place with all the littles. She was a godmother to my children. She was a Eucharistic minister with the church. She was the room parent, the library mother, the Girl Scout troop leader, a Reiki practitioner, and she was my only relief in caring for our mother who was dying from Alzheimer's. Now, she's a victim of domestic violence and abuse. Her flaw was not that she was a vindictive devil, but that she was too forgiving of her perpetrator, thinking people could change and heal. My family and myself know about Harry's history. The bins lining the walls in her bedroom were packed and ready to leave the dictatorship within his home. There was no CPR performed on my sister. Any medical professional knows you don't move a body to a soft surface for CPR, especially a surgeon. Effective CPR needs to be done on a hard surface. Any medical professional also knows blood does not float up the back of your head when you're face down. It pools in a dependent position, and any medical professional also knows that a subdural hematoma is a key indicator of a violent, traumatic head injury, like repeatedly slamming someone's head off the floor. It is not a natural occurrence. The brutal assault and murder of my sister by Harry was by no means a momentary reaction or accident. The false claims of not remembering what happened Harry dragged her body by her 3 children. Harry stopped. He saw one of the children had seen him. He had that opportunity at that moment to stop, but instead, he kept going. He knew right away the perfect place to dump her body. He disposed of her body with no regard for her life, no remorse, and now he's not taking full responsibility. I've now needed to make room for 3 more children in my home. I stepped into the mom role, celebrated birthdays, graduations, proms, driver's licenses, as well as countless sleepless nights, endless tears, chronic fear, and PTSD. So many moments lost to her children forever, with a lifetime of lost moments and memories to come. I miss Katie every moment I am with her 3 children. I try to hug them like Mom would, trying to comfort them, give them advice like Mom would, knowing it's not the same. I am not Katie. I'm not Mom. I pray to God that Harry stays in jail the remainder of his life, that he receives the maximum that can be awarded. There is no justice here because there is no truth here. This truly is the deed of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'll continue to protect and guide Katie's children as she would, and remember her like she was, full of love and light.
Thank you very much.
Just